to VS2PCG Deck Forger, and this is your host Mark Young. And for today, we're going to give you another deck tech, and this time this is not from FHP VS2PCG Philippines, but from one of our friends from New Jersey VS2PCG community. And we are blessed enough to be shared by one of our friends. Let's just try to call him the Dark Lord, and actually he goes by the name of Ralph Edwards III here on Earth. And he shared with us a very powerful build which is based on one of the Trinity main characters, and that is Dark Phoenix. So hope you stay with us for today as we try to dissect, divulge, and share with you the secrets on how to build the Dark Phoenix Infinity deck. And guys, this is VS2PCG Deck Forger. Okay, so for today, we're going to try to share with you a particular deck which I had a chance to chit-chat with my friend from New Jersey, VS2PCG community, and Sir Ralph shared with us. He was so kind enough to share with us one of the main decks that's I think he's still going to use in the upcoming events in the US. And actually, this particular deck revolves around the Dark Phoenix. So as we can see here, the Dark Phoenix is a very powerful character in herself, although she may seem weak from the start, since her level 1 character is a little bit weak on the attack and on the defense. But come level 2, she grows to a very big 7 attack, 7 defense. And still, what I really like about this main character is, of course, her 7 health. She's one of the original main characters to have those 7 health, and was widely used and very, very popular even before the early days of VS2PCG. So we will try to go over to my deck table here as we try to one by one explain to you what are the different supporting characters, plot twists, equipment, and locations that goes with the Dark Phoenix Infinity deck. Okay, so just a disclaimer, of course, it's up to you on how you will try to build your deck around this particular concept. And I know Ralph might get mad at me because I am sharing one of his secret deck. But again, I'm giving all the credits to Sir Ralph Edwards because he was the one who inspired me to create this very great deck from Dark Phoenix. Okay? So before we begin with, first we'd like to thank our sponsors, ForgeHobbyPlace.com. Great place, great food, great time. So Forge Hobby Place is located at Unit B, Velasquez Compound, Naga Road, Pulanlupa 2, Las Piñas City, Philippines. And we'd also like to thank our sponsors also, friends from Treats for Them. That's www.treats4them.com. You can download the app at the Google Play Store, or you can visit their website again at www.treatsforthem.com. So, as I've said before, we're going to try to explain to you how we have built the Dark Phoenix Infinity deck. And this particular deck, of course, consists of its main character, Dark Phoenix. And let's try to find out what's included in her deck. Okay, and as we try to open up this green box to showcase the Dark Phoenix Infinity. Okay, so as you can see here, Dark Phoenix, let's try to focus on that, on her, has level 1 and level 2. And at her level 1, Dark Phoenix is an A-Force main character with 3 attack and 3 defense. and she has flight and range, and of course that 7 health. That is why Dark Phoenix became very popular during the early days of VS2PCG, wherein together with Mystic and Thor, she is one of the infamous Trinity main characters. And Dark Phoenix, because of her 7 health, can sustain considerable amount of damage, and at the same time can help her survive in the long game. Since Dark Phoenix is also known as Phoenix, again, okay, we'd like to warn you that you cannot use any Phoenix supporting character while Dark Phoenix is your main character. Okay, so let's go to her superpowers. What was, what is, what will be. That is the first superpower of Dark Phoenix. So during the main phase, you can pay 2 yellow power symbol and put the top 2 cards in your deck face down into your resource row. If any are locations, you may place them face up instead. So Dark Phoenix was one of the original ramp up deck for VS2PCG because it was innate in her to be able to ramp up resources as many as 2 per turn, okay, with what was, what is, what will be. Now, the inevitable corruption is her level up power. So she just needs 1 XP. So when a resource appears on any side, if there are a total of 20 or more resources on all sides, then Dark Phoenix gains an XP. So she just needs 1, and normally this happens during the mid to late game portion, okay, of the match. So once she gains that 1 XP and she levels up, then now she becomes formidable at 7 attack and 7 defense. So at level 2, Dark Phoenix can still retains her flight and range and her 7 health. Okay, with what was, what is, what will be, she now gains her second, okay, superpower, and that is the Ravager of Worlds. So during the main phase, you need to pay at least 2 blue power symbol and 1 green power symbol to be able to KO all face down enemy resources. So besides being one of the original ramp up decks, okay, Dark Phoenix actually is also a landy deck, but normally it is being done during the later part of the game. So now that we have discussed all that you need to know about Dark Phoenix, since by now maybe most of you are familiar with her, it's now time to go to her supporting characters. So for her supporting characters, okay, we have included, okay, a repertoire of several of the more powerful utility characters in the game. So for your 1-drop, and this is just one of your many 1-drops, okay, you have 4 copies of, again, the Wasp, because of the Wasp again provides that very important first turn flight wall with that 1-drop, 1 attack, 2 defense, 1 health, and flight. Her sting can help weaken an opposing enemy character, and when Wasp appears, put a -1/-1 counter on an enemy character. So her strength also helps you avoid 1 attack at least. That is twice if they are going after Wasp. So when Wasp gets attacked the first time each turn, you may cancel the combat. So she is good here because you have to understand that, or you have to remember that Dark Phoenix is just a lowly 3 attack, 3 defense, okay, during her level 1, okay, condition. So you need the Wasp to at least prevent you from being attacked and being stunned, okay, by your opponent. Now, going further, we also have 4 copies of Dinosaur. So Dinosaur is from the Champions team, and Dinosaur is a 1-drop, 3 attack, 1 defense character with 1 health and again flight. So she's also good for protecting your Dark Phoenix in the back row if she is up front. And she has support, so when Dinosaur appears, put a +1/+1 counter on another character on your side. So normally you get to put this on Dark Phoenix so that you can increase her stats from 3 attack, 3 defense to 4 attack and 4 defense with that +1/+1 counter. So at least good enough to help, okay, prevent a possible stun from your opponent. Also for this deck, we have our third set of 1-drop, and we have 4 copies of Arnhem Sol. So Arnhem Sol is from the Hydra team, and he's a 1-drop, okay, 1 attack, 1 defense character with 1 health and with range. And he is debut, so when Arnhem Sol appears, choose an enemy character to discard a card. So good enough to, okay, lessen the hand advantage of your opponent. And besides that, he has transfer consciousness, so as a reaction, when Arnhem Sol gets KO'd on an enemy player's turn, search your deck for an Arnhem Sol character, rebuild it, and put it into your hand. So the better for you to be able to replace Arnhem Sol once he gets KO'd, okay? Or about to get KO'd. And we have also put 4 copies of this particular lady, and we have Sister Grimm. So Sister Grimm is a 1-drop, 2 attack, 2 defense character, supporting character from the A-Force team, and she also has range, and she also has 1 health, and she has the staff of 1. So the staff of 1, during any combat on any turn, you may search your deck for 1 power, a yellow power symbol, for any turn combat plot twist with a different name from each plot twist in your KO pile, and play it if able. So Sister Grimm is here, so in order for you to be able to provide 1 good blocker for your Dark Phoenix, and at the same time, she's very important here because you need to get your hands across 1 particular plot twist that is very effective for this deck. So later we'll try to explain that. Okay, so just 1 plot twist, and that is very important. For your 2 costs, we have decided to put 4 copies of Mantis. Very staple in any ramp up deck, because Mantis, once she gets KO'd, okay, she goes into rebirth. So Mantis is a 2 cost, 2 attack, 3 defense character with 1 health, and of course her rebirth. When she gets KO'd, you may turn her into a face down resource on your side. So Mantis is very important here, of course, because you need to, okay, combo her with your Dark Phoenix, what was, what is, what will be, in order for you to be able to do that massive ramping as early as the 2nd going to the 4th and 5th turn. Okay, we don't have any 3 drops for this particular deck, but what we have in our 4 drop are 2 copies of Starhawk, and Starhawk is from the Guardians of the Galaxy. He is a 4 cost, 4 attack, 4 defense character with 2 health and flight and range. Of course, he is important here because of One Who Knows. You may look at the top card of your deck at any time. You may recruit characters and play equipment and plot twist from the top of your deck. So at least if you're able to get 1 plot twist or 1 particular character or location from your, okay, from your top, from the top of your deck, so it becomes like an extension of your hand. And once you have those available resources to play with, then okay, the opportunity is very varied, no, for you to be able to abuse Starhawk's One Who Knows keyword power. Okay, now we also do not have any 5 drops for this particular deck, but in this case we have provided you with 4 copies of Valkyrie or Valkyrie. So Valkyrie is your first 6 cost character, and she is from the Defenders team, And Valkyrie is a 5 attack, 6 defense character with 2 health and flight. And she has Chooser of the Slain. So during your build phase, you may pay a yellow power symbol and you may recruit characters from your KO pile this turn. So later on, Valkyrie is very crucial here because you need to work out the infinity loop for your character. So for your characters. So we'll try to explain that further along the road, okay? And we have also another set of 6 cost characters. And these are 4 copies of the Maker. So the Maker is from the Frightful team. And he has 6 attack and 8 defense with 2 health. He has multiversal omnipresence. And you may include up to 5 different equipment without inventions in your invention pile. Only the master can invent them. Of course, because the maker can invent them because he is the maker. And so, with the stroke of genius, at the start of your turn, you may draw a card or the maker creates an invention. So again, this particular supporting character is also one of your key cards in this particular deck in order for you to be able to execute the infinite loop. Okay, and of course we have 2 copies of Gilgamesh. So I think we don't need to explain him much further because he always comes up in most of our videos. But just to be quick with it, Gilgamesh is an 8-drop Avenger supporting character with 16 attack and 16 defense, flight, and 1 health. He has Eternal, and you must not forget to call out his name because if you do, and the Forgotten One will now remove Eternal from his powers. Okay, so those are 2 copies of Gilgamesh. And of course, we have 2 copies of Mr. M. So I decided to use Mr. M instead of a Dark Phoenix because of course we cannot play the supporting character, okay, on the 9th drop because your main character is Dark Phoenix. But with Mr. M, again, he is an 8 drop from the Omega's team and he has 15 attack and 10 health, 10 defense with 1 health, and he has range. And again, as an Omega level mutant, you cannot put other Omega level mutants with other names in your deck. And he has subatomic manipulation wherein he can remove superpower or any power from any enemy character with his first subatomic manipulation, which is power removal. And at the same time, he has also power augmentation wherein he can duplicate the superpower or keyword power of another character in play. Okay, so mostly I think I have also discussed Mr. M in the previous Dodge Switch Engine tech deck, and Mr. M actually is good here to prevent the incursion of any other characters that are detrimental from in you being able to execute your particular infinity loop. Okay, now this particular deck has many equipment, and for in this instance we have 3 of them in our main deck, and we also have 5 of them in our invention pile. So first we have the nullifier. So I don't think I need to explain this in more details because the nullifier can ultimately nullify any keyword or superpower from the match or from the game once it is in play, and if it still stays in play. So nullifier, since it's one of a kind, you can only have 1 copy of this in your deck. Now the Darkhold is also another very important equipment in this deck, and it's one of a kind. It is malevolent, so you can only equip it to an evil character, so the better for Dark Phoenix, because the femme fatale character is of course very considered as an evil team, and it has dark magic. So when you play your first Floodways each turn, put it into your hand instead of your KO pile. So the better for you to be able to recycle those needed Floodways, okay, to be able to be used, okay, by your characters during that turn, or again recycle them to be able to recycle them again, okay, during the next turn. And we also have, okay, one copy of Serpent Crown, which is one of a kind and it's an unwanted gift. So equip the Serpent Crown to an unequip an enemy supporting character. So under sets control, when you equip this to an enemy supporting character, move this character on, to your side, and when this is unequipped from the character, move it to its owner's side. Okay, so I will jump to the last part of this deck, and we will try to explain, of course, what are the equipments included in your invention pile. So of course we have the machine, which is the only invention in this deck, okay, but actually you can include all the other inventions that are neutral for this particular deck, but for this one, this is the most important one, because the machine is a one cost, okay, equipment machine, and it is an invention. So this card starts the game in your invention pile, so it's already ready, you don't need to search for it. And make things right, when the machine appears, choose one for it to gain. You pay one less to recruit supporting characters, or supporting characters on your side has +2 attack, +2 defense. So in particular, I think you know where we're getting at. You pay one less to recruit supporting characters this turn. So that is how the infinity loop will work. And besides that, you also have other copies of equipment, like you have the 2-drop Cosmic Cube, which can help remove, okay, cards from enemy's deck. You also have the 3-drop Cosmic Cube, which can of course remove, okay, cards from your enemy player's hand. And you also have copies of the 4-drop Cosmic Cube, okay, to help remove enemy supporting character on one side. Okay, so remove it and all other supporting characters with that name from on that side from the game. Okay, so you can also include a 5th one, which is you can include, let's say, a 5-drop Cosmic Cube, or you can even include, I just don't know if it's legal if you can include another copy of Dark Hole just in case for emergency. But in case other than that, you can also maybe include, let's say, one copy of other equipments like Quinjet, or let's say M134 minigun. But then again, it's up to you guys on how you would like to tweak your deck. Okay, so now we go to the Floodways. And for the Floodways, we have, of course, 4 copies of the Dramatic Entrance. And the Dramatic Entrance is very important here because it will help sustain your, okay, the survival of your Dark Phoenix. Most especially during her level 1 state. And Dramatic Entrance is a femme fatale combat plot twist. It can be done in any combat, okay, and in any turn. If the in any turn combat, if the defender is on your side, you may put a character from your hand next to it. If you do, remove the defender from combat, and the new character becomes the defender. And at the end of the combat, KO the new character. So again, that's why we have included at least 2 copies of Gilgamesh for you to use with Dramatic Entrance, since if the condition will KO Gilgamesh by the end of the turn, or the end of the combat, but again, you have not forgotten to say Gilgamesh, then Gilgamesh will just go back to your hand. And if you have one copy of course, the Dark Hold, okay, the Dark Hold on one of her characters, then you can get to use Dramatic Entrance again the next time around. That is, okay, twice in a turn before she gets, or it gets, disposed. But again, with Gilgamesh, you can bring him back to your hand, and again use him for your Dramatic Entrance. Okay, so I think you get now why we also have, Okay, Sister Grim on our side, because Sister Grim will help search that dramatic entrance. So when you need it the most. Okay, and also we have 2 copies of Build a Better World. So for us to be able to reuse those yellow, okay, or green or blue basic locations back again on 9. And again, this is usable because you have your WAS with you, and we have only included 2 copies of it because of course you still need the WAS in order to be able to play Build a Better World. But again, they may come into use. Okay, and so that's with our Floodways. And for our locations, okay, first we have included 3 copies of Wakanda. And Wakanda, using vibranium technology, may help you search, okay, by letting your main character pay a yellow power symbol during the build phase, and if it does, turn the location face down, then search your deck for an equipment, reveal it, and put it into your hand. Of course, Wakanda is here because we need to use him to search for that particular equipment, most especially, okay, the Dark Hole. And we of course we have also included 4 copies of Academy, and Academy is for use with Dark Phoenix, what was, what is, what will be. And you also have to save some because we need to use it for Valkyrie's user of the Slain, and sometimes you also need to use it for Sister Grim's the Staff of 1. Okay, and we also have 4 copies of Laboratory because we need to use it for Arnhem Sol's Transfer Consciousness, and at the same time this is for the Ravager of Worlds, wherein we need to have, okay, at least 2 blue power symbols for use when activating Dark Phoenix, Ravager of Worlds. And we have also 2 copies of Fortress. Again, this is also for use with Ravager of Worlds. And since we don't have much of a use for it in all the other supporting characters, at least we just put 2 copies of Fortress here in order for us to be able to use it for Dark Phoenix. And finally, we have 4 copies of Madripoor. And Madripoor is your Femme Fatale wild location. And we have 4 copies of it here because we need to use it, of course, for Dark Phoenix, what was, what is, what will be, and also, of course, also for her Ravager of Worlds. Okay, so how to effect the infinite loop? Of course, very simple. At least you need to have 2 copies of, let's say, the WAS. Okay, you also have Dinosaur, and you have also your choice of Arnhem Sol. And of course, the other set of copies can be in your hand, or it can be also in your KO pile. Then just go on with your job of protecting and making sure Dark Phoenix will survive that long, and at the same time, okay, you're able to play Mantis or her what was, what is, what will be, in order for you to ramp up those resources. Then come a particular turn, if you're able to play, for example, Valkyrie, or much better, you're able to play the Maker. Okay, so this particular dude, okay, since you need to have the Maker, okay, activate his Stroke of Genius at the start of your turn, so it's much better to be able to play, okay, the Maker first, then followed by Valkyrie. So it can be done maybe on the 5th turn or on the 6th turn, wherein you play Maker first, then you play Valkyrie next. Then, of course, if you already have the other characters in your KO pile, okay, then now it's time to play, choose Machine as your invention. Then make sure to protect Machine by placing it on the back row, then be able to protect them with the other flight wall. Okay, then once machine comes online, then all your one cost characters or supporting characters now, okay, cost one less to play. And since you have Valkyrie, okay, in play, and she can survive at least 2 attacks before she gets KO'd, then now you may recruit characters from your KO pile this turn. Okay, so Arnhem Sol is now free. Okay, so because he is a 1-drop, then you play one Arnhem Sol from your KO pile. Then your character now, or your opponent now, discards 1 card from his hand. Then Arnhem Sol, the first one, gets KO'd. But since he is now 1 less to play, then you can again recruit him from your KO pile. Okay, and the other Arnhem Sol gets KO'd. But since Arnhem Sol will now appear, then your opponent will get to discard another card from his hand. And so again, the loop will now start to remove all cards from your enemy player's hand. So what about Dinosaur? Of course, Dinosaur is here because once you are able to play Dinosaur and you have another Dinosaur either in your hand or in your KO pile, then now she becomes 1 less to play. So again, when Dinosaur appears, you get to put a +1/+1 counter from from her to your Dark Phoenix, and again play the other Dinosaur from your KO pile. The first Dinosaur now gets KO'd, and Dinosaur will now provide another +1/+1 counter on your other character. So you get to play Dinosaur back and forth again from the KO pile and put that many +1/+1 counters up to, let's say 1 million to your Valkyrie, to your The Maker, and to your all the other characters that are still in play on your side. And finally, Was, okay, if she is in play or she is another copy is in your hand or on your KO pile, then again Was provides or is 1 less to play. So in this particular case, okay, Was, you get to play her from your KO pile. You get to KO the original. Then Was provides a -1/-1 counter on an enemy character. So that can be the supporting character or it can also be the main character. So again, Was will go on back and forth from your KO pile to your side, putting that dreaded -1/-1 counters on up to 1,000,000 times on all of your opponent's characters. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is of course the Dark Phoenix Infinity Loop. So again, thank you very much to our friends from the New Jersey VS2PCG community, and most especially to my friend Mr. Ralph Edwards III. Okay, that is only his alias because he is actually the Dark Lord, and okay, for sharing with me this particular insight on how to build this wonderful deck build. And of course, we'd again like to thank our sponsors, Treats for Them. So you can visit their website at www.treatsfordem.com, or you can again download the app at the Google Play Store. So again, that is TREATS number 4 THEM, Treats for Them. And again, lest we forget, we'd like to again give our heartful thanks to our friends from, of course, it's already covered, okay, sorry, Forge Hobby Place. So Forge Hobby Place is the official venue for VS2PCG tournaments in the Philippines. So Forge Hobby Place is located at Unit B, Velasquez Compound. Okay, that is in Naga Road, Ulanlupatu, Las Piñas City, Philippines. And of course, we haven't forgotten our other friends from VS2PCG Collective, most especially to my dear friend, Mr. Benjamin, Mr. Ben Brosin, and Mr. Joe, the Human Torch Vitel. So again guys, once again, this is the Dark Phoenix Infinity. Hope you have liked our video, and hopefully you get to stick around next week again as we try to give you another spectacular deck tech courtesy of FHP VS2PCG Philippines. Again, this is your boy Mark Ion, and we'd like to thank you all for watching VS2PCG Deck Forger.